Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace or good evening or good morning, depending on the which time zone we are living. This is Tawheed, last name is Norman. I'm sitting in office as a Canadian ethnic origin Bangladeshi or South Asian, as a public educator from the Canadian largest school board, Toronto District School Board. As you can see, I have my Toronto District School Board hat as a public educator at the same time. I have the blazer, and not only that, I have also the Muslim attire with the beard. My point of discussion today, my dear brothers, that we live in Canada. 1982, April 17th, we had a wonderful Charter of Rights, which is pretty standard, equivalent to Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Means every Canadian has a right to practice his religion, conscious of religion, and express his opinions, and even assemble peacefully, or assemble in peaceful gatherings, or express their opinions. The discussion today is what it bothers that we live in Canada. We have all kinds of background people, whether we teach in public schools, like I'm talking about my background for the last 24 years. I have graduated from world-class university with teachers training and principal qualification from Toronto University and York University, then joined and worked with the Canadian largest school board, the world-class Toronto District School Board, for the last 24 years. I have never heard from my students coming from 80 different national background countries, or my staff, my colleagues, call me Shampradayic, extremist, or terrorist. But what it bothers me, when I go after school community with my own people or ethnic people coming from not only Bangladesh but other countries, some of them, from their ignorance and the arrogance, I repeat, they name call me, like such as, because of my beard, because of my dress, that I am terrorist, I am extremist, I am Shampradayic, and not only that, they call a lot of people like me. My question to them is, how could you call me a terrorist? Like, for example, ISIS is created by American government or Israeli government, who have been doing all the bad things in the name of Muslims. How many of them? Maybe hundreds, thousands. We have, my dear brothers, 200 crore or 2+ billion Muslims. Can we call all the Muslims a terrorist because of them? Same thing, David Qureshi or Mr. Jones committed suicide with a mass number of people with the hat of the Christians. We cannot call 2 billion Christians terrorists. That's called prejudice. So this is a warning for our prejudice educated journalist living in Toronto in the name of president of Chittagong University alumni. I would not name them. Some of them, they write wrong reporting about people like us, when in the mainstream Canadian society, our children, our students, our colleagues, our educators, our directors, our ministers do not call us terrorist or Shampradayic or extremist. How dare you are to call us with the wrong label? What do you know about us and our children born and raised here? Shame on you. Okay. Just for your information, we come from Bangladesh, South Asia. That used to be called Pakistan. Before 1971, after 71, it's called Bangladesh. Now, my background, I studied there for my primary and high school. Then came as a foreign student here. And here, our foreign students, we have in thousands. Every university has professors from South Asian background, right? And there's Muslims, there's Hindus, there's Christians, right? When students go for undergrad, they take 75% courses in their faculty, 25% in non-faculty. For instance, in my case, I took Spanish, I took French, I took whole language English, I took Bengali, I took Arabic, I took Urdu, okay, for my university education. Then I had my teacher's training back in 1994. As you can see, at that time it used to be given by the Ministry of Education, but now it is controlled by the professional regulatory body, College of Teachers. Now, in 24 hours of teaching, I also moved from classroom, taking the principal qualification for private school, work on the annual school improvement plan for some of the faith schools. And after school, we support our community centers. My dear friends, my point is that if we want to build our children, we can build as a balanced global citizen, having balanced education, meaning our children can take the professional media, reading, writing courses at the same time, the foreign language that I showed you, by the Ontario curriculum or Canadian curriculum. At the same time, when they take primary and secondary education from Canadian International School located globally or Canadian schools in Canada, you as the parents have the right to educate your children not only for world-class elementary, secondary and post-secondary education. You can also teach them, if they're Hindus, you can teach them, taking them to the mandir or the temple in Sanskrit language about Gita. Same thing, going to church, the Bible they can learn, going to synagogue they can learn Torah, right? Same thing, as a Muslim, I come from a country, 90% of them are Muslims, and I respect all our minority groups. So for our community, isn't it my right to teach them, beside the Canadian curriculum, the core courses, English, Math and Science, we also teach them from kindergarten to grade 12 all the courses regarding the faith. That doesn't mean that as a Canadian dressing like a Muslim, you call me a racist, you call me an extremist, or you call me Sampradayic, or you call me a terrorist. That's called prejudice. So this video is created to educate and empower our children, our adults. Please be careful about those people. Stop them right there, bullying at you, calling or name calling you Razakar, Shibir, or extremist, or Sampradayic. No, you are not. If we are, then how come the Canadian multicultural people living in multicultural mosaic accept us as a Muslim faith background, a Bangladeshi heritage, Canadian teacher, not in the maktab or the temple, but in public school for 24 years? My question to you, please stop prejudice. Please stop wrong labeling to our people who join the community to make a difference using their background faith, background nationality, background ethnicity, background race, because we live in a beautiful country of Canada where we promoted multicultural faith. I hope you understand my message, and I strongly recommend pass this YouTube video locally and globally to stop those prejudice who look at the media hype and for few newses or killings by few extremist Christians or Muslims or Jewish, called 2 billion Muslims or 2 billion Christians or 2 billion Hindus and Buddhists extremist, Sampradayic. Shame on you. May Lord guide and bless you. Thank you.